for the welcoming remarks.
Dear Mr. Metschis, thank you very much. Dear Mrs. Heckmann, ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, especially special greeting to our Ukrainian friends and partners from Ukraine. I want to thank all our partners, namely GIZ, the Ministry of Economy and Energy, Germany Trade and Invest, again, our local Ukrainian government representatives. I am deeply impressed again about the great interest to today's seminar. I mean, there's a saying in politics that all politics is local. I think that in the end of the day, you can say the same about business. In the end of the day, all business is also local, because especially in Ukraine today, we tend to see the developments in Ukraine from a global perspective, from a European perspective. If we look into Ukraine, then from a perspective in Kyiv, the president's office, and all the decisions which are made by the central government. But we often forget that if it comes to investment, the key is the local business framework. You have to do your investments in a concrete town, community, region, and the business framework, the business conditions there are the most important part of any investment decision. That's why I would be very happy today, and I think all the participants share the same, to learn more about the concrete and current situation on the ground in your concrete region, especially for German companies. We have the honor to welcome the representatives from 5 Ukrainian regions: Odessa, Lviv, Vinnitsa, Kyiv and Ivano-Frankivsk. And these reports will be then mirrored also by 3 German companies, their respective experience working in the region, by Philip Swains from HLA, Bernd Wiedemeyer from Leoni, and Artem Primachenko from MC-Bauchemie. And I would like to thank especially Philip Swains, who is not only the representatives of HALA, but also our spokesperson for the Ukraine working group within the German Business Eastern Association, and is doing a tremendous job to promote Ukraine as an investment location. So once again, thank you very much, and I hope that I could fit into the 5-minute slot.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Harms, for the warm welcoming. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Gerlind Heckmann, the Deputy Director General for External Economic Policy at the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy, for today's keynote. Ms. Heckmann, if you may.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Harms, for your warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ukrainian partners, it's really a pleasure to join today your special edition of Team Germany's webinar on regional investment opportunities in Ukraine. Firstly, I would like to thank the German Eastern Business Association, GIZ, German Platform for Reconstruction of Ukraine, and the German Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Germany Trade and Invest for today's event that brings together German companies, Ukrainian regional representatives, and practitioners who are already active on the ground. For this discussion, it's crucial to realize that Ukraine's recovery is not an abstract future project, but it's already happening now. However, it will succeed only if public commitment and private sector engagement go hand in hand. This is why this format and exchanges today really matter. For the German Federal Ministry for Economics and Energy, the reconstruction of Ukraine is a task of historic dimension. Germany and its government stand firmly by Ukraine's side, politically, economically, and financially. At the same time, we know that public resources alone will definitely not be sufficient. Sustainable recovery means private investment, entrepreneur courage, and long-term partnerships. The good news is that German companies bring exactly what is needed in Ukraine's recovery. For instance, technological experiences, industrial know-how, and experience in modernizing infrastructure. This is not only an act of solidarity, it also is a strategic investment in an EU member candidate and as well as in the stability and the economic future in Europe as a whole. One important lesson for today is successful engagement requires a regional perspective since Ukraine is not one uniform market. The opportunities, needs, and strengths differ between the regions. For instance, Odessa offers strong potential in logistics, in ports, in maritime industries, and agribusiness. Lviv stands out for a hub of manufacturing, IT services, and cross-border value chains. Vinnitsia combines agricultural strength with food processing and industrial development. Kyiv region remains a key center for services, innovation, and high-value manufacturing. Ivano-Frankivsk offers opportunities in energy, in construction, tourism, and decentralized industrial projects. Looking closely at the regions allows companies to identify entry points, partners, business models. To support this engagement, we have developed two important instruments that I would like to line out or highlight today. First is our oblast studies, provided regional analysis for priority sectors, investment opportunities, framework conditions, and local partners. They were researched and written by the Center for Economic Strategy, financed by our ministry, and published with the support of GIZ and Germany Trade and Invest via the Business Guide for Ukraine. They translate Ukraine's recovery agenda into tangible business opportunities at the regional level. Secondly, we just mentioned Business Guide for Ukraine that serves as a practical compass for companies interested in entering or in expanding their activities in Ukraine. And that brings together market information, sector insights, project pipelines, and support instruments in one place. I encourage you all to make systematic use of both of the oblast studies for in-depth regional insights and the business guide for strategic orientation and practical next steps. And finally, if you are a German or European SME looking into possible investment opportunities in Ukraine, please currently don't hesitate, or maybe your bank hesitates when it's coming to financing, then just have a closer look at Ukraine Connect. This is a new financing instrument for German and European companies with regard to projects in Ukraine. Today's agenda shows what effective cooperation looks like, insights from regional Ukrainian authorities, practical experiences from German companies already active, and direct exchange in the breakout sessions. This dialogue is still essential. It helps to understand local incentives, needs, and regulatory conditions, and it allows companies to learn from each other. So let me conclude with a clear message. Engaging in Ukraine today requires realism, but also confidence and courage. The challenges are real, but so are the opportunities. And those who now invest, they build partnerships and they prepare projects, they will be well positioned for the phase after this horrible war of aggression. And Germany definitely will continue to support Ukraine on its path of recovery and into the European integration, as well as German companies interested or already active in Ukraine. So I wish you a very concrete and good afternoon and discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Heckmann. And yes, let's begin with our first technical input. I'd like to introduce Mr. Maksym Samoiliuk, who is working as an economist at the Center for Economic Strategy, a non-governmental research body that Ms. Heckmann has just mentioned, and he will present the key findings of the regional investment analysis. Maksym, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ronald. My name is Maksym Samoiliuk. I'm an economist at the Center for Economic Strategy, and I would also like to thank Frau Heckmann for introducing the oblast overviews because I'm going to talk about them in a little bit more detail. We don't have much time, so you will have to do the homework and look at the overviews yourselves. And I really encourage you to do that because they are really great at helping you assess the current situation in Ukrainian oblast. So I'm going to talk about what we did and what the main idea was in a little bit more detail. So as Frau Heckmann mentioned, together with GIZ and Germany Trade and Invest, we did an overview of 5 Ukrainian regions, the ones that are the participants of today's webinar: Kyiv, Lviv, Ivano-Frankivsk, Vinnitsa, and Odessa. We tried to be as objective as possible, and we did an independent overview. We collected as much hard data as we could, and used all our expert analysis to really see the pros and cons for German investors of each and every of these oblasts. The main idea was to look at each oblast, gather a complete data set of comparable data, not only for these 5, but also for all the other Ukrainian oblasts as well, and then explore each region in detail. This allowed us to do a SWOT analysis of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of each region. I'm sure that the honorable representatives of each region will be able to talk about their strengths and opportunities in more detail, but it is always very important to know what the weaknesses and threats are. And so our overviews are really useful if you want a clearer picture of what the region really looks like. And the overviews are available in German on the GTAI website. And my colleague from GTAI, Michal Wozniak, has already shared the link in the chat, so you can already go and look. But nevertheless, you will have the link here in the presentation that will be shared with you. We don't have much time for the deep dive discussion of each and every oblast during my presentation, but I just want to set a stage for the discussion that is going to follow by introducing our main conclusions that we found during our research. What we see that these 5 regions that we looked at and the 5 regions that are here today, they are different. They offer different investment logics, and they offer different opportunities, and they also have their different things that should be considered when investing in them. So any decisions will be based on your risk appetite, the size of opportunity that you're looking on, and of course, the sector which you are in. As already mentioned today, if you look at Kyiv, it is the capital region of Ukraine. It is the economic and investment leader. It's the main business hub, but it also means that it could be a little bit crowded. And of course, you also have to account for high war pressures, especially during this winter that is focused on Kyiv. So you have to keep that in mind. Lviv, on the other hand, is a dynamic European Union-oriented region located near the European border. It's strong in many different sectors. It's also strong in tourism and in medical tourism. One interesting thing that we found is that Lviv has more than 1,000 pre-made investment projects ready to invest, and the local authorities are ready to support you in that decision. Odessa is crucial for Ukraine. It's a Black Sea gateway. As already said, it's important with ports, but also the oblast offers high renewable potential. It's also strong in agriculture. And so Odessa is really high opportunity, but it's also a little bit higher risk than other oblasts because it's closer to the sea, it's closer to the war zone. If we look at Vinnitsa, we see an emerging investment destination. It's relatively safe, it's stable, it's located in the center of the country. While its economy was traditionally oriented towards agriculture, it's now expanding beyond that and offers a lot of investment opportunities. Last but not least, Ivano-Frankivsk, safer western location, also again near the European border. next to Lviv Oblast. Its economy is mid-sized but still diversified, and it has an untapped renewable potential because Ivano-Frankivsk is located in the Carpathian Mountains, and it offers good wind renewable potential for any investors that are interested in that. Again, we don't have much time, so I'm not going to take any more time from the honorable representatives of each and every oblast, because they will have the opportunity to promote their regions in more details. I would just like to thank you again for this opportunity. Thank you for us being able to produce this research. And again, I encourage you to look at these overviews at the GTAI website, which is also available on the link here in Zoom. They are really useful, and they are much more detailed than that I was able to tell in just 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maksym, for this very quick overview. And we will move on now to the practical insights from the local Ukrainian government representatives. I would kindly remind every speaker again about the time limit of 5 minutes. Our first input will be about Kyiv region by Mr. Vladyslav Lisniak, the Deputy Head of the International Cooperation Department at the Kyiv Regional State Administration. Mr. Lisniak, if you may.
Good afternoon, dear partners. First of all, let me thank you for inviting me to participate in today's event, to congratulate you on behalf of the head of the Kyiv Regional State Administration, Mr. Mykola Kalashnik. Germany is a strategic partner for Ukraine, so cooperation with the German businesses and organizations is an absolute priority in our work, and our team task is to promote and assist businesses. The Kyiv region is open to investment, which is why in 2025 we became the second region in Ukraine in terms of foreign investment, with over $2.7 billion United States dollars attract. As for early 2026, there are about 230,000 businesses operating in Kyiv region, and 25,000 new taxpayers appeared in 2025 alone. The area of Kyiv region is 28.1 thousand square kilometers. Kyiv region is divided into 7 districts, on the territory of which there are 69 territorial municipal communities. In the structure of the total area of the region, the share of agricultural land is 59%, forest 23%, rivers and reservoirs 6%, industrial land 0.5%. The leading industries of Kyiv region are the food industry, production of the rubber and plastic products, electric power, woodworking, and pulp and paper industries. The development strategy of the Kyiv region for 2021 and 2027 provides for the development of 4 potential areas of smart specialization. Production of innovative food products with improved consumer qualities, functional food. 2. Development of energy-efficient solutions based on alternative energy sources. 3. Innovative products for construction, design, and everyday life, and also bioactive substances and pharmaceutical for human health and beauty. The innovative ecosystem of the Kyiv region includes 16 industrial technoparks, which are included in the State Register of Industrial Parks, and 2 clusters, the Thermal Energy Cluster and the Circle Economy Cluster. The concentration of most research institutes in the capital provides additional opportunities for the region business to introduce innovation into production. In Ukraine, the state supports and encourages the development of industrial parks. Residents of industrial parks can receive the following benefits: exemption from import tax and customs duties on equipment according to the list of codes. Exemptions from income tax for 10 years according to the list of activities. Local tax benefits from local authorities. The possibility of budget financing for the development of infrastructure and engineering networks in industrial parks, and also the possibility of compensation for interest rates on bank loans. The Kyiv region has successful examples of implementing the principles of circular economy in production, in particular in the textile industry, which faces the problem of recycling textile waste. The project Rain Ventex, being implemented in Kyiv region, is aimed at recycling post-industrial waste and consumer waste with the subsequent production of materials that can be used in construction, for example, as insulation, in the production of furniture, home textiles, and clothing. By 2027, it is planned to increase the volume of processing to 10,000 tons per year. Currently, an infrastructure is being created for the sustainable development of the textile and clothing industry, including the collection, sorting, and processing of textile waste for Ukrainian and European companies. According to the Ministry of Environmental Protection and Natural Resources of Ukraine, on 2025, 6 million tons of demolition waste had accumulated in the country. As a result of hostilities and missile attacks, there are several thousand destroyed objects in the key regions that require complete dismantling and subsequent reconstruction. Kyiv region was the first in Ukraine to introduce the principle of ecological processing and utilization of construction waste. The raw materials obtained in the processing process are sent to road construction as a base, production of building materials as a component for building mortars and structures, for strengthening the river bank. The volume of demolition waste for processing in 2024 was approximately 15,000 tons. In 2025, more than 50,000 tons of demolition waste. We are interested in introducing new technologies, the processing, construction, and demolition waste in the region. Regional stakeholders are particularly interested in technologies for processing waste generated by damage and destruction of buildings and structure during hostilities and rocket attacks. The Kyiv region has accumulated significant amounts of waste from the destruction. Among enterprise alone, 127 businesses, facilities have been destroyed and 643 damaged. With the aim of introducing innovations in the field of waste processing, the Department of Economy of the Kyiv Regional State Administration has joined the RIV Circle under the Horizon European program, together with municipalities and organizations from Spain, Germany, Brandenburg Municipality, Norway, Slovakia, France, Greece, and Austria. In 2024, by decision for the European Commission, the Kyiv region was awarded the Regional Innovation Valley label. Once again, I want to state the Kyiv region is open for investment, and we are happy to support German business. Thank you very much, and also to our meeting also added my colleague Olga Nedezhdy, and she will continue the discussion.
Thank you very much, Vladyslav.
To meet you.
Thank you.
Good. We will continue now with the second region, Lviv, which will be presented by Mr. Oleg Veklyn from the Department of Investments and Projects of the Lviv City Council. Oleg, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. Dear colleagues, dear partners, I represent Lviv City Council, the administration of biggest city in the west of Ukraine, investment and project office. And before I start, I have to say that yesterday in Ukraine, we marks fourth anniversary of Russian full-scale war in Ukraine. 100,000 Ukrainians died in this war, and we continue fighting. And I have to say a big thank you for all support from Germany and German people, which you already provide to us. Without this support, we wasn't so strong and so resilient as we are. And together we could do more. We could even stop this war. I believe in this. All what we need is just to do a bit more, a bit faster, and do not afraid Putin and Russia, as our soldiers, our volunteers, our medicians, and our civilians here in Ukraine do. They do not afraid Putin and Russians. And it's very great that we are talking about private investments, because without private investments, we will not have strong economy. Economy is very important during the war. And without international investments, we will not rebuild Ukraine. And I have to say that here in Lviv, I have to share this information with you, that your competitors are already here. Our city mayors have dozens of meetings every week with private companies who are interested in investment in Ukraine. They already opened and registered their companies in Lviv. They looking for the partners here. They looking for the land plots, investment objects, and they do not waiting for the reconstruction because it's a losing strategy. After the war, everyone will be here. And I want to share with you a presentation and show a bit more about our city. Do you see the presentation?
Yes, it's there.
Great, great. I will try to be short. So, as I mentioned, Lviv is a gateway to EU. We only in 60 kilometers from the European Union border. And from the map, you can see that the distance from Lviv to Kyiv is far away than to Warsaw. And distance from Lviv to Berlin is closer than distance to Ukrainian city Kharkiv. So Lviv is more close to Europe than you can imagine. We are the biggest city in the west of Ukraine. We have 1 million of population. We are a very young city, more than 100,000 students studying here. And we are the new economical center of Ukraine because of the safe region, because of the location, and because of our people. And during the war, we are the country's main rehabilitation and medical hub. We have two biggest rehabilitation centers here in Lviv, private superhumans and big municipal ecosystem called Unbroken, which you can see on the photo. Last year, we was the European Youth Capital of 2025. And last year, we also held in Lviv two biggest diplomatic conferences. One of them in December officially start our negotiation to enter to the European Union as a member, to be a member, to get this status. And this meeting held in Lviv. About our industries and our potential. The most growing industry during the last years, during the full-scale invasion, is the medtech because of the demand for rehabilitation, for prosthesis. On the photo, you can see our prosthesis and orthosis center, which we constructed thanks to German fundings, by the way, and GIZ. So thank you for this support. It's working, it's functioning. Another sector is Miltech industry. I'm sure that you know very well about it. Why this industry is growing. I just mentioned that here in Lviv, we have very strong iron Lviv tech cluster, which unite about 100 Miltech companies together. And I'm sure that you know about this case of Quantum Systems, German company who invest already in Ukraine and cooperate with local Ukrainian companies. IT and technology always was the very strong sector in our economy. We have about 600 IT companies with more than 50,000 IT professionals. We have very strong IT cluster, which unites the most strongest all Ukrainian IT companies. And the last what I want to mention that these IT companies also are working for the automotive companies here in Lviv and Lviv region, and a lot of German companies very well function, automotive companies function here. You can see Bader, Leoni, Bosch, Time and Space, Japanese Fujikura, also the local Ukrainian company Electron, which produce trams, buses and trolley buses. And more about investment projects. We have 3 industrial parks. They all 3 function. You can invest there if you have industrial project and get all taxes and preferences which they suggest. We have a project of European Commission about the TNT railway corridors. 3 TNT corridors, smaller railway, which will connect Ukrainian railway with the European Union railways. And all these 3 corridors will go through to the Lviv. So Lviv will become the main hub of this corridors, TNT. Here you can see our municipal project pipelines and project which we're now preparing and looking for private partners, looking for investments, for fundings. So you can see that our priorities is medical and social projects, transport sector, and energy sector. And now you will ask me, okay, you have the projects, you have a good positions and advantages, but what about private investment, right? Does anyone invest here, even the full-scale invasion? First of all, about our existing investors. On the slide, you can see all German, not all, but majority of German companies who are working in Lviv and in Lviv region. And all of them continue working despite the full-scale war and continue function despite all the risk which we have here. And about new investors. First of all, German company, Kreisel, from Fixit Group. Last year, they launched their dry construction mixture production plant here near Lviv during the full-scale invasion. Last year, about 15 million euro of investments. Also, last year, one of the biggest...
Oleg, I'm very sorry we are a bit over time already, but thank you very much also for the strong introduction, powerful introduction here. You will have time in the breakout sessions as well to further continue. But in terms of time,
15 minutes, 15 seconds, sorry, 15 seconds. I just
15 seconds, Oleg, okay.
15 seconds, okay. So Irish company Kingspan also investing in Lviv, energy sector, a new investor from Czech Republic, industrial parks, another industrial parks. It's all last 2 years. Tourism investor opened a hotel last year. We have strong business community, strong cluster here. And more information you can search by this QR code. And also on the slide, you have our contacts. Please contact us. We are ready to support you, all your intention on your private investment from the side of City Council. And thank you one more time for your support. And sorry for that I a bit late in the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Oleg. Good. Then we move on to the third oblast today, to Vinnitsa. And I would like to introduce Mr. Vladyslav Skalskyy, the Deputy Mayor of Vinnitsa City Council. Mr. Skalskyy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me here today. And the Ukraine today is not only a country defending the European freedom. Give me a second. Now you can see my screen. Yeah. Yes. It is also a country rebuilding, modernizing, and opening a historic investment window. And within this transformation, Vinnitsa stands out as one of the most stable, predictable, and investment-ready cities in Ukraine. Let me briefly guide you through what you see in this presentation. Vinnitsa is a central Ukrainian city with a population of about 430,000 people, including 43,000 of internally displaced people, and a strong reputation for quality, governance, and transparency. Our city has repeatedly been recognized as one of the most comfortable cities to live in Ukraine and was the first Ukrainian city to receive the European Energy Award and to declare a local Green Deal. Geographically, Vinnitsa is positioned at the heart of the national logistics, exactly in between the Black Sea ports and the Polish border. As shown on the map, we sit on a key transport corridors connecting the EU with the central and southern Ukraine, with strong rail and highway connectivity. This makes the city a natural hub for manufacturing, logistics, and regional distribution. The Vinnitsa region is responsible for almost 10% of all the Ukrainian agricultural production. It is the base for a strong food processing industry, which is the core of the regional economics. But economics is only a part of the story. Stability, governance, and the partnerships matter more. Vinnitsa has a long-standing cooperation with European cities and institutions, including Germany, France, Switzerland, the European Investment Bank, EBRD, GIZ, and the World Bank. We work in the European governance culture with the transparent procedures and predictable decision-making process. We have numerous projects delivered and in the process of implementation with our international partners. Our community values are clearly stated. We take our decisions in the name of our people. We do care for the well-being of Vinnitsa community, and we are open for everything beneficial to our development. Now, to the most important part, investment opportunities. Despite the war, Vinnitsa continues to develop strategic projects designed for long-term growth and European integration. Among them, 6 large industrial parks of different purposes designed to host manufacturing and logistics investors with a total development around 100 million euros. A cultural and business center in the very core of the city, a 25 million urban regeneration project. Phase 2 of the first Ukrainian Municipal Innovation and Technology Park, Crystal, focused on technology, R&D, and innovation economy, and a flagship strategic project, a new multidisciplinary hospital, approximately 80 million euros, designed under modern European healthcare standards. This project is being developed in partnership with the IFC, who is responsible for the PPP project consultancy services. These projects are open to minimum 3 implementation models. First one is a direct foreign investment, where private investors develop and operate on projects using various tax incentives mentioned by my colleagues previously for industrial parks in Ukraine. The second one, obviously, is a public-private partnership with the risk sharing and long-term contractual stability thanks to strong Vinnitsa economy and accountability. A third one is blended financing, combining loans with the substantial grant components from the international financial institutions and development partners. What makes Vinnitsa different? Predictable local governance, strong international partnerships, and a clear European development path. Dear colleagues, Ukraine will be one of the largest reconstruction markets after the World War II in Europe. ELI partners will have strategic advantages, economic, institutional, and long-term. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to work together.
Thank you very much, Vladyslav. Good. We are moving on now to the next oblast, Odessa, and I'd like to introduce Ms. Lyudmila Shevchenko, Head of the Investment Office of the Odessa Regional Development Agency. Lyudmila.
Thank you. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lyudmila Shevchenko, and I am the head of the Investment Office of the Odessa Regional Development Agency. It's a great opportunity and great honor to present the investment potential of the Odessa region, Ukraine's gateway to the Black Sea and one of the most strategically important regions for Europe's reconstruction and supply chain security. Each of those present will be able to familiarize themselves in details with the investment passport of our region, which we provided to the organizers of the webinar. This is a comprehensive presentation in which we provide answers to all the main questions that arise for investors. Odessa region is a coastal border region located in southwestern Ukraine, occupying the territory of the northwestern Black Sea coast from the mouth of the Danube to the Telugu estuary. It is the largest region of Ukraine in terms of area, 33,300 square kilometers, which represents 5.5% of the total area of the country. The region has a strategically important geographical position. In the north, it borders Vinnitsa and Kirovograd regions, in the east, Mykolaiv region, in the west, the Republic of Moldova, and the southwest, Romania. This geopolitical location determines Odessa region's active participation in major European interregional organizations, including the Assembly of European Regions, the Association of European Border Regions, the Assembly of European Wine Regions, and the Lower Danube River Regions, and the Conference of Peripheral Maritime Regions. Administratively, the region consists of 7 districts, 91 territorial community, 19 cities, 33 settlements, and 1,121 villages. The regional centers in the city of Odessa, the population of the regions is 2,300,000 people as of 2022. Additionally, the region hosts approximately 230,000 internally displaced persons, which reflects both the humanitarian responsibility and resilience of the regions. Odessa region combines powerful economic potential with natural advantage. It's recognized as the logistics center of Ukraine. 7 of the largest ports of Ukraine are located here, and 5 international transport corridors pass through the regions. This makes Odessa a key gateway for export-import operations, transit flows, and international trade cooperation. The region demonstrates a highly developed industrial complex, rapidly growing IT industry, high potential in agriculture, mineral resource reserves, and promising opportunities in tourism and renewable energy development. The presence of Zmeiny Island further analyzed its strategic importance. Odessa region is also rich in mineral natural resources. More than 150 deposits of solid minerals have been preliminarily explored and prospectively assessed. The region has explored and approved operational reserves, including 14 deposits, 22 sites of mineral waters, with a total volume of 7,000 cubic meters per day. These mineral water are mainly chloride and sodium waters used for therapeutic purposes and industrial bottling. The most widespread solid non-metallic minerals of local importance include sands and loam. At the same time, extraction of minerals of national importance, such as oil, gas, and iron ore, is currently at stage of research and industrial development. The region's natural and recreational resources are unique. The Black Sea coastal climate, therapeutic mood and brine from the Buda, Kuyalnik, Teligo, Kaji Bay estuaries and the Tuzli group of lakes, Shagani, Ali Bay and Burnes, create strong potential for sanatorium and resort development. The therapeutic mood of the Kuyalnik estuary is recognized as a benchmark of its composition and therapeutic properties comparable to the Helene mood of the Dead Sea. In summary, Odessa region is a powerful combination of strategic geography, logistic infrastructure, industrial capacity, agriculture strength, mineral resources, human capital, and international integration. It's a region open to partnership, investment, and innovation. The Odessa region is not only the largest region in Ukraine by area, it's a region of opportunity, resilience, and growth. We have at least 100 ready investment projects published on the national investment map in logistics, energy, IT, and manufacturing, and we are ready to present them to you in detail. I warmly invite you to join our breakout session on Odessa right after this panel. Let's discuss concrete projects, incentives, and partnership formats. Thank you very much. I look forward to your questions and to welcoming you in Odessa soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lyudmila. Good. Last but not least, we will have a presentation on Ivano-Frankivsk by Ms. Tetiana Kozak, the project lead for the Regional Development Agency of Ivano-Frankivsk region. Tetiana.
Okay, thank you. So can you hear me well?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay, good. My name is Tetiana, and I'm the representative of Ivano-Frankivsk Regional Development Agency. Today, I'd like to discuss and to represent the potential of Ivano-Frankivsk region, but I apologize, I don't have the presentation, so it will be like the brief presentation by myself. So Ivano-Frankivsk region has diversified economy, as it was like previously mentioned in the presentation of Mr. Maksym. Yeah, and the key sectors like agriculture, energy production, construction materials, and wood processing, food processing are the main in the region. The investment priority sectors as well include alternative energy, information technology, like IT sector, agriculture and manufacturing, machine building, and as well the tourism and recreation. And in this case, I'd like to say that Ivano-Frankivsk region is like the main leader in Ukraine as in terms of tourism and recreation. Not only because of the Bukovelsky resort, but as well as for other reasons, as it has a lot of recreational zone, and also it has the healthcare tourism, healthcare resorts, and like mountainous landscapes and so on. And I'd like to say at the same time that the location is strategic because it has like the proximity to EU markets and to EU borders for the enterprises, entities. They have like the more light access than other regions in Ukraine, as well as natural resources. The region possesses a lot of like potential in this case, such as oil, gas, rock, salt, construction materials, and forestry production. As well as I'd like to indicate that in our region is well-educated people because of the technical specialties, and because of that higher educational institutions focus on that. As well as the representation of smart specialization in the region. It's very important for the districts that are included in the region because they could pay attention on that kind of sectors that they could improve and develop. And in this case, I'd like also to say that smart specialization needs more engagement from the stakeholders, local governments, local government bodies, as well as the regional stakeholders. And if we're talking about the smart specializations, that are 5 key sectors that could be in this case. The first is digital technologies. It includes smart city technologies, automation, cybersecurity, data analysis, digital transformation, as well as development of regional IT ecosystem. The second, it's the green energy. Ivano-Frankivsk region is one of the main producers of alternative energy, wind and solar including. In this case, if we are talking about like the sustainable energy, the smart specialization should focus on sustainable resource management and energy efficiency technologies. The third sector, it's industrial modernization, advanced manufacturing. It includes food processing with higher value added products, machinery and equipment manufacturing, development of industrial parks. The fourth, it's agriculture and agri-food innovation, smart agriculture technologies, modern food processing, and so on. I would also like to indicate that the craft production, especially in the mountainous zone like Kyiv district and Verkhovna district of the region, they produce a lot of craft products, including cheese, including organic production, and they are very popular now. And in this case, I'd like to say about my institution that represented the region in Brussels. At a lot of crafts products was represented to a broader audience abroad, from Kyiv and from Kolomia districts, as well as from Verkhovna. If we are talking about like the industrial parks in this case in the region, the main are included in the Kalush district, in the Alena city and Kalush city. They are quite similar. They have similar like the area, and both of them are located in same district and focusing on light industry, food processing, woodworking, as well as manufacturing. Another industrial park is Burштyn. And it could, for example, create the 1,000 jobs in textiles, food processing, woodworking, and related sectors. So in this case, you could see like the industrial parks in the region are focusing on the food production and on the light industry, machinery, and woodworking. They have like quite similar sectors of the work. And there are two or like three projects of the industrial.
Thank you, Tetiana. We have to come to an end because we're a bit over time. If you have, but we will have time later in the breakout sessions to go a bit more into the other investment projects. Thank you very much.
Danke für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit und Ihre Einladung.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, I think I hand over now to Alena for the moderation for the second half. Alena, if you may take over.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you, everybody. It was very interesting. And let's move on to our next part of our program. It's my favorite one also because it's about best practices. And today we have three speakers with us who could and will share how their business operations are going, what opportunities they see, what challenges they are dealing with, and also where they are already seeing some positive results. So I'm very glad to introduce as a first speaker our speaker for the working group, Philip Svens. Philip Svens is also the managing director of HHLA International GmbH. Philip, I'm very glad to see you.
Hello, nice to see you all. I have to put a little caveat. My internet connection is really bad, so I might be cut out. If it happens, it happens. Yeah, nice to be here. 4 years since the beginning of this, I was going to say stupid war, which it is at the end of the day, and a lot of experiences in the Ukraine. We are, for those who don't know, we are the manager of the largest container terminal in the Ukraine, in the port of Odessa. We've been in the Ukraine for the last 20 years, so we've seen the good sides and also the more difficult sides of being an investor in the Ukraine. To put a little bit of a positive note, we still believe in Ukraine, and we have recently, as of September last year, invested in, not in Odessa this time, but in a new intermodal terminal at the border between Slovakia and Hungary in the eastern part of, in the western part of the Ukraine, in Zakarpattia. Experiences from 4 years, 4 long years and difficult years. I would say for those that are considering investments, the very positive is the mood, the spirit, the willingness to continue things on the Ukrainian side. Our staff, even if, and especially in Odessa, conditions are not always easy, and especially in the last couple of months with the electricity shortage and a very strong winter, have been quite difficult. Our staff are committed, are creative, are finding ways to get things done, which results in the fact that our terminal, although it is a prime target for aggression of the Russians, has, apart from the first 2 weeks of the war, has always stayed open. And we have, with the team locally, always tried to find solutions to keep the business running. And that is a very, very strong argument for Ukraine. The people that are there are extremely dedicated, motivated to continue things. I'll be clear also, it has not been easy 4 years for us. The volume of business is very low compared to what it was before. The challenges, especially the constant attacks, are a challenge. We have had to review multiple times our safety and security approach, installing bunkers on the terminal to safeguard the life of our staff. And that makes it a very, not an easy environment to work in, but with a strong potential, looking at in the last 1.5 years, there is increasing amount of cargo coming back into the Ukraine. We had yesterday we handled 2 vessels. Today,
so I guess we have that case with connection. Yeah, I'm not sure if Philip will be very soon in our call, but just for that case, you have some questions to Philip. You can put it in the chat. So if he came later, he can answer. If not, we will provide that questions to Philip. And I will propose we will go to our next expert and speaker today. And I'm very glad to have the Vice President of Leonie AG, Bernd Weidemeyer, with us.
Okay, I'm back. Otherwise,
okay, Philip.
Sorry, and I'll say a few words before
yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah, you have the opportunity. With pleasure.
Sorry for that.
Yeah.
It's difficult currently. What I would say, what the difficulties is clearly a lot of people have left the country, and that is, and also for the longer term, is a concern. There are a number of people and there is a concern also, and that's something that any investor needs to look at very carefully, is making sure that you have staff available. There is still a lot of people being drafted. We recently had a few more people drafted, although we have a big chunk of our staff protected. So those are things that need to be looked at and are in the short term a concern, but also in the long term, the brain drain is something that concerns us going forward. On the other side, on the positive side, I mean, there are a number of regions where you can invest. And if I look, for example, at investing at our other investment, which is more in the western part of Ukraine, there clearly the constant attacks, the risks associated to that is a lot less present, and you don't as much have the feeling that you are investing in a war zone, and that can be for some investors an interesting perspective. Looking at Lviv, looking at Zakarpattia, which are areas which are a little bit further away from the front. That being said, also recently, especially on the railway side, electricity, energy supply is there also an issue, and also be very careful about availability of staff, because also recruiting or drafting is also happening in those regions. But if you can manage those areas, it can be very interesting and rewarding, and it's an investment and a bet on the future, on a positive future for Ukraine. I leave it at that before my connection gets cut again.
Yeah. Great, Philip. I just said to the participant they can put some questions to the chat, and you can also react there. And to the second time, I'm very welcome here in our call, our representative from Leonie AG, and very welcome to give the floor to Bernd Weidemeyer for some words.
Thank you very much for the opportunity introducing Leonie to you, and maybe also to share some experience we made over the last 20 years in the Ukraine. And maybe this helps you to take the right decisions regarding potential invests in the future. Alena, may I ask you to share the presentation for me, please?
I have just asked my colleagues. Yeah, Oli, we are on the way. Yes. No, it's not not that one. Oli, yeah, do you have the presentation of Bernd? Or Katerina, you maybe?
I've sent it to Oli. I will.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, you can directly move to the next slide, please. So just a brief overview, because not everyone is familiar with Leonie. We are one of the leading companies providing energy and data management solution in the automotive industry, or in simple words, we are a harness maker. And we have production sites globally in 21 countries. And as I mentioned before, we are producing in the Ukraine since 2003. That means more than 20 years experience on site. Our turnover is more than 4 billion euros per year, and globally more than 86,000 colleagues are working for Leoni. Just to give you a brief overview. Focusing on the Ukraine, we are more in the western part of the Ukraine, close to the Lviv oblast. So our two locations are in Stry and Kolomia. We are serving more than 30 automotive and commercial vehicle manufacturers across Europe. Turnover is more than 170 million euros per year. And on a weekly base, more than 35 trucks are leaving to the European Union, mainly to Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary. And for sure, on site, we have a close and very good collaboration with the European Business Association and the German Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So this is very valuable. In the Ukraine, in our two plants, we have more than 3,600 employees. Production area is more than 70,000 square meters. Just to give you a brief idea about our commitment to the Ukraine. We can move now to the next slide, please. And here maybe some words about the, the framework conditions we are dealing with on a daily basis. So the positive side is over the last 2 years, we see a stable development in the Western region. So it's a steady growth of business there. So it's a positive sign, not only for Leoni, but also for other companies. As already mentioned before, the labor market is challenging in the Ukraine because we have for sure a high demand of talents. I would not call it war for talents, but it's going this direction. And for sure, we see a shortage of skilled employees caused by migration and mobilization in the during the period of this terrible war. So also maybe a practical hint, due to the fact that we are located in the Western region, the air alarms are not really affecting our working hours. So roughly 1% of our working hours in 25 were affected by air alarms. So overall, this has not a significant impact on our production. Also maybe an important hint, energy, heating, water. So we secure our production by backup systems if needed. Overall, we can keep our production stable, so it's not a big issue for us. One last hint, because we are close to the European Union borders. So the European Union introduced in October last year a so-called entry-exit system, and this caused a significant increasing days of waiting time at the Ukraine borders. So normally the trucks are waiting 1 up to 2 days, and as you can see in the graph, this increased by plus 4 days, so up to 6 days we had to wait at the border by end of this year. Last year, the good message at the end. Now, overall, the situation is stabilized again, back to normal as it was before the introduction of the entry-exit system by the European Union. So overall, we are satisfied with our production, with our investment in the Ukraine. Where we see some challenges is to secure the utilization of our plants, because our customers in Western Europe have a, let's say, a critical eye on security and also a stable production in the Ukraine. So, and this is a challenge for us to convince our customers to accept production in the Ukraine, even when we could prove that a stable production over years is possible in the Ukraine.
Thank you. Thank you, Bernard. It was really interesting to know that you are satisfied with your business there. Also having so much challenges. I mean, it's really amazing. You just keep on and working there. So, and we have a lot of homework. I hope it will be better in the near time, in the future, and hope we can help you also and support you on your business. So thank you so much. And we have one more speaker today with us from very interesting company, MC-Bauchemie. Managing Director Artem Primachenko is today with us just to share some experiences from the sector, another sector, I'd say. Welcome, Artem. You are just muted now.
Now
it's better. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the invitation, for such, I must say, unexpected invitation, and especially for the category best practice. It's quite interesting. I would like to share my short presentation and present to you our activities. Do you see the second slide now?
We do.
So
we just see this first one. Maybe you can take.
And now,
do
you see how I switch? No.
No.
No problem. To be quick, I will do in such a way.
Okay.
And now, do you see the second slide?
Yeah, it works.
So, few words about our company. Worldwide, MC stands for Müller Chemie, such an exotic German name, Müller. We are a family-owned, mid-sized enterprise who is working with construction chemicals. Bauchemie means construction chemicals. What does it mean? These are products to produce new high-performance concrete, and also to protect and repair concrete in different spheres of its usage. We are 100% subsidiary of MC-Bauchemie in Ukraine. We are owned by our family. Also, we are operating in Ukraine since 2005. This year we have celebrated our 20 years anniversary. I work also in this company since 20 years, and it's good for me to share experiences and contacts with those who are interested to come to Ukraine or for example, to make good concrete. If you hear something about contacts in different spheres, I will explain why, or you just hear the word good concrete, please don't hesitate, contact us and me. We have more than 100 employees in our company. 8 of them are in the armed forces of Ukraine, and we are very grateful to them that we have the opportunity that I'm telling something like this to you today. Our production, we have a production facility, we have a production in Ukraine. It is located in Berezan, that is near Kyiv, 70 kilometers to the southeast of Kyiv, on the border of Kyiv and Poltava Oblast, where it is a very picturesque, small, quiet city with very interesting and deep history. So welcome to Berezan. Just give a call if you are driving through or nearby Berezan. Our German owners brought here their strict German quality control, so we produce our materials in accordance with European, German, and also Ukrainian standards. One important thing, additional thing, that we have brought also modern technologies from Europe in the field of concrete, and we have one of the best concrete laboratories in Ukraine. These two factors, production in Ukraine and also concrete laboratory, gave us a chance to take part in a variety of very interesting projects. For example, tunnels, airports, concrete roads, etc. You will see some pictures about this. A few words where we do work now and where we have contacts which we can share. First, sector that is concrete industry. We serve concrete factories, companies who produce concrete. We sell to them our admixtures, which we produce in Berezan. The second important for us sector that is infrastructure and industry. We sell products to protect and repair concretes in the field of bridges, of light industry, of heavy industry, of energy, of wastewater facilities, and food industry. These are most interesting things where we have contacts every day. Also, we work with commercial properties, like, for example, warehouses, like malls, etc. Everywhere, concrete needs to be protected. For industrial flooring is also a form of the protection of concrete. And we have identified a big interest of people who would like to use our products also in construction and repairing of their homes. That is why you can find our materials also in Epicenter. That is the biggest DIY chain in Ukraine.
Artem, I'm sorry. We have only 1 minute more for you.
Maybe 1 minute. I don't need more. I don't need more. Two things what I want to ask and to say. First of all, one of the most important factors of our activity is that we bring modern technologies to Ukraine in form, for example, of concrete laboratory. The concrete mixes for the biggest infrastructure projects in Ukraine since 20 years. These mixed designs were developed here in Berezan in this modern laboratory. So please, dear investors, bring your know-how to Ukraine. The second thing which is important through years, that is supporting of young people with knowledge and the possibility to have practice. Unfortunately, Ukrainian education has a lot of room for improvement, and especially in the field of construction. That is why we give to young people opportunity to come to our factory for 1 week or more, to live there and to get and obtain the modern knowledge in the sphere of concrete. And we call it MC Academy. I believe that every of your company can establish something like that in Ukraine when you come here, and it will give a great impact to your development and to development of the respective industries in Ukraine. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Artem. I wanted to hear also about the challenges you have, but maybe next time you can share it also with us. So we have